Welcome, welcome. It's time to check the game notes. You see the arm dog over there? It looks like he's back in Pittsburgh for once. We got G and Pasha pulling the strings behind the curtain. So the entire team is assembled. We have a massive show again today. We're going to start by snapping around the NHL. We got our game notes team of the week, riding the bus. Huge news out of the CHL and NCAA. We got the Chiclets, chirps. Biz and Witt are at it again, of course. Show Minzees. Picks for the entire weekend. We're going to break down my Sweden Four Nations team picks, and we'll finish up with a new Beer League hero rule. So you'll want to for that. Arm dog, what's going on in Pittsburgh?
What's up, buddy? Up back home. Got home yesterday. Went up to Toronto. Worked Wednesday night. Scotia Wednesday night hockey, whatever they call it. And Oilers against Golden Knights. Lots of things on the line for that game, which was really sick, right? Because of the Four Nations Cup. You had Hill, you had Skinner in net, like the goaltending situation with Canada. Shout out to the chat, by the way. Sigsy calling me Scout Strong, Colby Scout Strong. I did a little scout skit on TV that night, Wednesday night hockey. Had a blast up there in studio with Justin Bourne and Luke Gazdick and David Amber as the host. So real fun night up there. And I drove, but it was unbelievable. When I got there, buddy.
Yeah, I saw this.
Pasha has this video. So I go to check into my hotel room, and I stay at this hotel quite a bit. I'm a Bonvoy god, and I love like getting points and everything. But the girls at the front desk are so nice to me. So I show up, and she's like, "Hey, we see you're only here for one night. We're pretty full. We're gonna upgrade you because I'm like titanium platinum elite or something. I don't even know how they classify me. Look at this living room, bud."
Wow, it's so is it like a Marriott or what is this?
Yeah, it's a W.
Yeah. W.
That they're
yeah,
connected.
So some people listening at home, you're going upstairs, you had a hotel room with 2 floors by yourself.
Yeah, so
this kind of stuff always happens when you're alone too. Like you're with your family one time trying to squeeze in one room, you don't get lucky like this.
Yeah, and I literally came in and I put my stuff down. I did some prep work. I got ready. Look at that tub, man. Look at the shower. Like you could do yoga in the shower here. See those, there's jets blasting all over in that shower. It was unbelievable, but what a hookup. I loved it. Loved the hookup, buddy. Just a great setup. So thank you. Shout out to them for hooking me up, giving me the upgrade. You ever waited for a flight and got the upgrade, Murls?
No.
You never?
I get the downgrade, if anything. I've told this story before. One time in my Barstool career, I had a first class ticket from Pittsburgh to Sweden. And that's the day Witt made me stay an extra day to watch the Steelers game with him. So I end up going back to the pigeon class.
You lost it. Yeah, yep. You're back by the pisser in the back where everyone's bumbling by with your seats just barely could get your hoop in that seat. Oh, that's a tough break. But I got the break. I got the upgrade. Good things happen to good people, Murls. Unbelievable. And so that was a welcoming comfort to a Wednesday night hockey. Drove home yesterday, caught up with friends on the phone, and today is my brother's birthday, too, Murls. Riles, crazy Uncle Riles with the Flyers. 40 years old today, Mur.
40. You know what you should do for 40 years old? You should get him some Peter Millar merch like this golf shirt I have on.
Absolutely. Peter Millar, presenting sponsor today of the show. It's the holiday season, ladies and gentlemen, and what better gift to give than the gift of luxurious comfort? That's the best gift. Our friends at Peter Millar have launched their annual holiday gift guide, and this season is full of everything from stocking stuffers to timeless pieces that will stay with your loved ones forever. You don't want to go through a closet. You don't got to throw anything out. These are staying in there forever. Timeless. With all these options available, our favorite gift has got to be their Crown Heritage Cashmere sweater. If you're in the holidays, you got to get a sweater. It's got to be cashmere. These sweaters go back to the roots of Peter Millar, featuring a classic cut and pure 100% cashmere comfort that will never go out of style. With yarn so soft, you have to feel it to believe it. The Crown Heritage Cashmere sweater is sure to be your loved one's favorite holiday gift. Be sure to check out these sweaters and the rest of Peter Millar's holiday gift guide, people, at petermillar.com/chiclets. Yeah, we're getting in that time of the year, buddy. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Okay. If somebody's listening, I'm on their list to shop. Maybe mom and dad, my brother, maybe our boss, Biz, he's going to buy a little holiday gift. I need one of those two, maybe, of those Chiclets, Q-Zips, Peter Millar. I think they're in white and blue. I think I need a couple of those. So if anybody on my list, or I'm on their list, I don't know how to even say that, but I need one or two of those Peter Millar Q-Zips with the little Chick logo here.
Yeah, we're dads, so we rock Q-Zips, and nothing better than Peter Millar when you're rocking dad Q-Zips. Absolutely.
Got to hide the barrels.
Hide the barrel. You got to layer up, hide the barrel, maybe a little jacket over top of it in the fall. Nothing better than the fall for fat guys. Nothing better. Because you're not wearing a t-shirt with your boobs hanging out and your boiler, and it's like fits brutal. You got to layer it up. So now it's layer up season. So check out Peter Millar for all your holiday gifts and everything. That's awesome. But happy birthday, Murls, to Riles. Big 4-0. I looked up birthdays today, too, for hockey players. Keith Jones, our buddy Jonesy, it's his birthday today. And another buddy, friend of the show in Chiclets world as well, Shane Knighty, his birthday also. So happy birthday to all those guys. My brother went back to Saskatoon for a big ripper, big party back in Saskatoon. He flew back there. So a few of my buddies showed up. They ripped it up, had a good time. My parents loved it. Just awesome. So that's a big one. 4-0.
Yeah, I know your buddies. I know how that party probably ended up. But let's check in with G back there. What's going on, G? What's the latest in Chiclets world?
A vlog dropped this week. Episode of Chiclets TV from the boys' time in Boston. Pretty funny. Pasha just messing with Bruins fans. Just still won't let go of this Hall-Azaka trade and how the Devils got fleeced. So we got a lot going on. We're off to Florida this week. We're filming some Sandbaggers. And then Biz is off to Buffalo. I'm off to Michigan State to film a Chiclets U next weekend at Michigan State with Isaac the Iceman Howard, Tampa Bay draft pick. Very excited. The quote unquote best looking guy in the draft. So very excited. Yeah, a lot going on here in Chiclets world.
I love it. And you mentioned Pasha. I love seeing him in that vlog. He was doing some Murls minutes on the street, stealing my gig. Pasha, what's going on? How you feeling about your Devils?
What's up, fellas? Feeling good. I'm not going to get too into it because otherwise we'll have to play the disclaimer. But, feeling good about the Devils. But here in Van, like she mentioned, going to Florida tomorrow for some Sandbaggers. So pumped for that. But very pleased with the state of my Diablos.
Murls, nice. We were all in the group chat texting and stuff, and we're throwing out things, and he and just like G said, he kind of came with some stats and other things as Pasha does, as he likes to look under the hood. But I made a comment and like, do you think they're Murls? You're big for this. Do you think they're too small and like?
Oh God, Army, am I gonna have to play the disclaimer here?
But I picked them to like win the cup, I think, or at least be in the final, and I think I got to rescind my pick. I think I got to come up with a new pick, Murls.
I'm going to bite my tongue here.
This is perfect segue right into our snap it around the NHL, because the first team I wanted to talk about is a team that will run over that New Jersey Devils team, the Carolina Hurricanes. Pasha's got me on the P's, but the Hurricanes shit kicked the Pens last night.
Shit kicked.
Are they for real? Are they for real? Or are we still going to have to wait till the playoffs to see if they can be for real?
It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. I think they're going to be kings of the Metro, as they always are. And they're going to, with their playing style, they're fast, they're physical. The Pens actually were out shooting the shit out of them last night somehow. But it wasn't crazy in watching that game. They had 4 goals on 12 shots on goal. But it's just those odd man breaks, those odd man rushes. And Penguins just leaked great chances. And against Carolina, they got enough guys that can hurt you, and they got some firepower. They got some guys playing well right now out of the gates. And so, yeah, they laid the boots to the Pens last night. And I know the shots were whatever, because usually the Canes outshoot everybody. They usually outshoot everybody. So, yeah, the Canes are for real. The Canes are legit. But I think it's a playoff thing for them. We gotta wait. That's it.
It's like, well, great guys, until you make it to the finals, or something like that. We're not going to believe in you. But I was watching that game. I saw a cool stat. They've had the same roster for the first 12 games. For the first time a team has done that since the 60s or something crazy like that. I think it was on the Carolina feed. So that shows it does take a lot of luck. They're staying healthy. They got the same guys in there, but when you are winning, you're not going to change the lineup either.
Was that Trip
So-
Tracy? Did he drop that stat on you?
Might have been Trip. It might have been
Tripper,
that
what a
beauty
beauty.
Trip.
We got to get him on Game Notes one day. I love that guy. He lives the most interesting, intriguing life. Like, he was talking to me and he's like, oh yeah, I was at the Dolce and Gabbana fashion show in like Paris. And he's like showing me, he's like they know him. He knows everybody. This guy.
Yeah, he's a legend for sure. Speaking of a legend, assume that I guess he's a legend already, but Austin Matthews out for the Leafs. Are the Leafs better without him? The power play finally showed up, got 3 goals.
Do you
What do
think
of
so?
that? I don't. Too many cooks in the kitchen on that power play. But I did see on that power play, finally they went to the 5 forwards, because you can't have Nylander playing on the second unit. They were doing that for a while. Just play all 5, put them out there. That's what we did in college my freshman year. We had 5 forwards out there when you don't have a D that can play PP.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I like, if we're doing all this outside the box analytic stuff, like, start doing that stuff. Start doing personnel stuff. You don't have to have the defenseman out there. Who cares? You're trying to score a goal. Put your best goal scorers on the ice. They'll create, they'll figure it out. Just put them in the right spots. I agree 100%. And I was thinking about that actually, Murls, too, and facing Carolina, because they're such a unique beast during the regular. You have to be outside the box against Carolina. You have to let your D roam in the zone offensively and get lost, and maybe they're a forward. You have to rotate. You have to cause chaos and havoc on them because they're man on man. We know that from our Bridgeport when we played against Bridgeport. Who's the guy? The backpack.
Jody Robinson.
Jody Robinson would be on your back. You'd be carrying him around the entire offensive zone, just gas, because he's huge too. And you gotta start to get creative with stuff like that. I'd like to see that happen more, Merls. So I give credit to even like for Berube and his crew to be able to do that. That's not very Berube like. Hey, he's kind of looked at as an old school guy, but interesting thing you bring up. Are the Leafs better without Austin Matthews?
Power play showed up, but that's a crazy fan base. And I feel like last week, the Bruins fan base might have got just as crazy as them. They're all out of sorts down there, but they did win in OT. Was it last night or 2 nights ago? Last night against Calgary. Are things better, G? Are you guys like off the edge now?
Yeah, I mean, I was never one of the ones who was freaking out. I think I'm not too worried at all. I mean, I made the bet with Whit, and you can see it in the vlog that we just dropped. I think they make a run in the playoffs. I'm not too worried at all. I think the Monty hate, there was one day this past week where I was like, shit, maybe they should look into moving on from him. But I like what he did with the lines. I like, I'm pretty happy with the team. Like I've said, the team goes as Brad Marchand goes. He's coming off 3 big surgeries. You got to give them time. They're an older team. It's going to take a bit. And the people who are ripping on Lindholm, like, they're so stupid. Like, they really just don't get it at all. Like, he is a 2-way player. He's a shutdown center. He's shutting down the other team's first line. I've been very pleased with what I've seen from Elias Lindholm, especially last night against Calgary.
And what about the other guy, though? Zadorov.
Did
you see him with his 2 hands on his stick again last night?
I was going to say, when Kadri came in, he was robotic, 2 hands on a stick, and then he went to one hand and went fishing. He just have that piece of lumber extended the whole time on Kadri, like mess with them, like obstruct them, like, get it in his kitchen, mess him up. No, he's too exact. I thought of you exactly on that Kadri toe drag ripper, because he turned and he was robotic 2 hands again. And now that you mentioned it, I notice it with them so much, Murls.
You got to move him off the top pair. His boots are too slow. Every night he gets caught making a dumb penalty because of his boots being too slow. It's you can't play him with McAvoy anymore. Whether that means you jump up Lindholm, whether that means you throw in Witherspoon or anyone else right now, but Zadorov should be in that top D pair.
I'm telling you, we played with a guy in Japan like this, and my buddy Caldwell went in before practice one day, took the kid's glove and taped it shut. So there was no way for him to play with 2 hands. So he had to have 1 hand on his stick just to try to get the point across.
That's unreal. That's an unreal little move in there. Speaking of Caldwell, Murls, he Jet Scout. How about
what a segue. We're buzzing.
I know, what a tie-in. How about those Jets? What the hell is going on, Murls?
You were the believer. You tell me. You were the only one that truly believed in him last year and this year.
Not
even
so
though
much. I
do have the hat hanging up here. I do have my
kind of
Jets
went
hat.
off him a bit this year. The playoffs pissed me off with the way they just crumbled. And so I was hesitant at thinking that they would just come in this year and, be what they are. I didn't think they'd be this, but they're always seemingly there. They play a hard style of hockey. They have good players like, Scheifele and Ehlers and Connor. But like Morrissey, but like, they're not like looked at, like they're probably the most underrated, non-talked about like superstars. And then inside of that, they're nothing really is talked about any of their team at all, really. And all they do is just winning 1-0 the other night against Tampa Bay. And they just roll. They find different ways to win. They get some depth scoring. Guys are playing well. Back-to-back shutouts also for the Jets. Like everything is coming up Jets right now. And I don't know how to explain it. They're just a really good team. And I think the way they're going right now, I spoke of the playoffs, Murls, and you tell me this too. They're a team we're going to have to look at for playoffs. Like what's going to happen with Hellebuck? What are they going to be?
Yeah, I mean, that was the Avs last night. They beat 1-0, and the Avs have been their Achilles heel. So I was almost picking the Avs last night to take them. They did outplay them, but to even come away with a win there, it was incredible. Hellebuck's numbers are ridiculous. 10-1, 1 goal against average, something ridiculous. He's on fire, but it's the same as Carolina, I think. Like, till you show us you're going to be able to beat Vegas or beat Colorado or beat Dallas in the playoffs, what's the point of winning all these games?
Yeah, I agree. Positioning. Set yourself up for positioning. Yeah. But
I've been doing good gambling with them too.
Yeah.
But
and I'm
good on gambling on everybody right now. Little hiccup last night, but so hot right now.
So hot right now, Hansel. No, you're Zoolander in our little thumbnail picture at the start of the show, which is unbelievable. I said Tampa Bay. I said against Tampa Bay. Sorry, The Flyers played Tampa Bay and Flyers won.
But that Tampa Bay game was a 7-5 barn burner on Sunday night.
And a hilarious thing too, which we could save for later, but Kyle Connor with like unbelievable run to start the year. And we'll tie it in later into another segment, our Chiclets chirp segment, obviously, with another thing that he's got 2 games in a row without a point, but we'll get to that later. They're still continuing to win. What's this? 13-1, the second team ever since 07-08 Senators team to start this way. So pretty amazing start for the Jets. Jets fans got to be feeling good. Jets team feeling good. And they're playing like a brand of hockey right now that is just taking this league by storm.
Another team, the team I actually covered up with that Jets hat, is the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they are struggling. But last night, this big news: Sid is the face-off king, or the snap it back. Like, what is this all about?
Yeah, and like you said, we're going to workshop a name, but apparently this isn't true.
Nah, come to find out, it's fake news, and we've uncovered it here thanks to our guy Jazz in the chat. And he is second to Bergeron still by how many did he say?
Like 300 and something.
Yeah. So everybody that thought that was true, we're busting that rumor right now here on Game Notes. Check the Game Notes. Whoever put that out there on the social media, you're wrong. It's Bergeron still, but Sid will get there someday. I don't even know. How many faceoffs do you take a game? 20, 30?
Yeah. I mean, some of those guys take quite a few more. Like, it's crazy, but it's crazy looking at the faceoffs and how many Bergeron has taken, but how many he's won compared to how many he's lost is insane. Like his differential is insane. And I don't know how you could screw up that stat like that.
That's Minzees, as our Chiclets is saying in the chat.
As far as
for the people that really aren't into hockey, they're probably like, faceoffs. Why do you guys talking about faceoffs? Faceoffs can be so important, especially on the penalty kill or the power play, where a guy like Bergeron was on. Just starting your power play when everybody's in the spots they're supposed to be. Because when you lose that faceoff, it gets cleared down. It's 20 seconds minimum before you get it back in. That's if you get clean entry, clean setup. And then guys might be, I'm usually right half wall. Now I'm left half wall. So faceoffs are very important. The best teams always have a good faceoff guy.
Yeah, Southpaw in the chat saying, I saw that Crosby stat all over social media. It picked up. I retweeted it. I didn't even look it up, though. I'm an idiot. I just believe anything I read. I'm one of those guys. So Good thing I don't read much, Murls, but it was brought to our attention, fake news, not true. So, oh well, got the clicks. It got the clicks.
Yeah, maybe that's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. They wanted game notes to straighten them out. Maybe it's one of our guys, so we could bring this up.
Maybe that should be a segment, how we straighten out everyone, because we're game notes. We check the game notes where we straighten out all, we got to dig into our deep. We got to go under the hood and figure out if this is true or not.
Well, we have our hands full taking care of Biz and Wit's wrongs, and taking care of that on Chick. We can't take that's a full-time job in itself.
It is. Absolutely. Let's take a look at some of the standings, Murls.
Yeah.
Right now in the NHL, early part of the season. We're coming up on Thanksgiving here in the next how far away is Thanksgiving now on us? Like a week and a half?
Yeah, it's coming.
2 weeks.
I'm flying home Thursday. So I'm there for a week before it really kicks off. But yeah, so I want to talk about this because I was looking at the East standings this morning, checking everything out. I like to look at the form and everybody going. I look at those standings right now, and I think those are the 8 teams that are going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, they say that. They say that by Thanksgiving, if these teams are in, that's kind of the cutoff. I don't know if that's necessarily true in the last number of years, but generally that's the rule of thumb in the NHL of a start you need to have by Thanksgiving is be one of those teams.
Like, can you talk me into somebody that's out right now that's going to be in and somebody in that's going to be out? I don't see it. I mean, Washington's for real. Right?
I don't know. Like, I look at it as I think wild card 2, maybe wild card 2. If you look at it in the East, could be potentially up for grabs, but that's even being kind of generous, is it not?
Yeah, that's what some people are saying. Swap Detroit and the Caps. People are talking about the Sabres finally won, but I don't see. I think that's it. I think we can start the playoffs already.
Just get right to it.
Let's get right
to it, people. Yeah, there's still lots of hockey left to be played, no question. And I think any team can kind of win on any night, but there's clear teams in the East, and then looking at the West too. Those teams near the top that are just separating themselves as like cream of the crop teams. And I don't know if we've, for me, like seen a start like this where, we've seen a few years ago, Boston had the, record setting years and Tampa teams and but I feel like there's a good chunk of in each division of the teams that are clear cut, the better teams. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Just looking at this West, I mean, Calgary's not going to stay there, right? That the only spot you really see there for Edmonton or Colorado? That doesn't seem right.
I can see Utah, like those wild card spots.
Utah, Utah and 8, they're gone. They're brutal, by the way. As soon as we can talk about that, Chiclets, chirps too. As soon as they talk about them, they've gone 7 and 8, I think.
So interesting start to the league. Like, go over some hot teams. Florida right now, 6-game win streak. Carolina, 8 wins in a row. They are rolling. Jets, of course, we know their start. They're still on a 5-game heater. Some of the cold teams, Montreal. What the hell is going on in Montreal? 5 losses in a row right now. And they don't like.
Nice over for Mr. Ice last night, though. That was a great pick by him. They love giving up goals, and Pasha's Devils took care of it.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, they have like some young talent, and like you're kind of waiting for it. They kind of have like the Ottawa syndrome a little bit. It's like, what's going on there? Goaltending a little.
It's they're small. They're small.
Small.
I don't know. If it what's the saying? If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then it's a duck or something like that. Somewhere in the line. It's the same thing going on here. It's the same every year. Like, we keep waiting for Ottawa. We keep waiting for Detroit. Keep waiting for Buffalo. They're not happening. Maybe they're not good. It's not that they're young, that it's coming. No, they got a goalie now. Like, this Montembeault from Montreal is supposed to be on the Canadian team.
Yeah, I think he's like kind of in the talks, at least to start the season. But man, that fell apart quickly, I think.
Oof.
Kraken, 4 losses in a row. Ducks and Preds. 3 losses in a row for both those teams. What the hell is going on with the Preds?
The Preds, yeah, we talked about it. I think a couple weeks ago. Even they weren't looking good. I think the vibes got killed. They had these young guys, no namers, going out, playing free, playing easy, running the show. Now all of a sudden, these big veterans, they signed all these guys. There's pressure. And it's just not working at all. Too many cooks in the kitchen again on the power play.
Yep.
I don't know.
Chiclets account in the chat says rebuild ? Get the combo going in the chat.
Trot said it. If it doesn't turn around, and then who they lose to? Washington, and then had to go down to Florida yesterday after a back-to-back. Nobody deserves that, having to go to Florida on a back-to-back.
I have a question for you guys, though. So, like, do you think he was kind of taken, like, out of context a little bit there? And maybe not out of context, but do you think he kind of used his words wrong there? Because, like, when he says rebuild, do you think that means tear it down completely, get rid of Stamkos, get rid of Marchessault? Because they also have a ton of first-round picks. They have a great prospect pool. They can go out and acquire guys and still make this team better, as opposed to having to completely tear it down and rebuild, like Trot said.
Yeah, I don't see how he can tear it down if he just signed all these guys. And I don't know for sure their contracts, but basically everybody has a no trade clause now, don't they? So I don't see how he's going to move anybody and who's going to want some of these other guys. Of course, people will want Philip Forsberg, but he's not getting traded again.
I got to see the exact chat, we have like a thing of that. I don't know. It might be hard to find it. I want to find the exact wording that he said to G's point to see if something is lost. And it's rather early in the season, but they don't look like they don't look good.
But Pasha, you put him on the hot seat?
Pasha's got him on the hot seat.
Bruno? Man, he came in as one of the favorites for coach of the year.
Not necessarily saying he should be on the hot seat, but I think it's way easier to fire him than to, overhaul the roster. So if this continues, I could definitely see him getting axed. Not saying he deserves it, but yeah.
Maybe too many moving parts, Murls. I think you bring in all these big older guys, both a couple of them off of breakups too. Grass isn't always greener on the other side. Finding an easy way to click, like for me, Forsberg's just a beast, and then after that, it's just like guys are finding their way.
Yeah, so like Forsberg now he's playing bumper on that power play. That's not him. He's not a bumper guy. He needs to be moving around, playing with the puck. So now that will affect your 5-on-5 game. When you're on the power play and you get to handle that puck a lot, that will transition into a better 5-on-5 game because you got it. You've realized how much time you have. You feel comfortable. And I think that's affecting not only him, but the younger guys that were playing power play and they aren't now. Yep. And I just think the chemistry is really screwed up there. And it's going to take too much time. And like we just saw those standings, there's not enough time. You start this cold, you're not coming back unless you're Edmonton Oilers like last year, but that was once in a lifetime. We'll see that. And they have the two best players in the world. So they're in deep trouble.
That's when you actually see a little bit of a recipe you have a conversation. Nashville kind of has that conversation starting this year. I think everyone was praising Barry Trotz and the Preds for like what they did. But to get a start like this, where there's like, there's been no spark at all right now, like where something's kind of clicked and worked. And so it's been a grind for them, and they're great hockey fans in Nashville, with all the excitement coming out of summer. So that's fallen flat on its face. So we'll keep an eye, folks. Game Notes is here. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Situations coming out of Nash Vegas.
Yeah, so from the negative to the positive, it's time to go to our all Game Notes team of the week. Shout out again to our guy Max for making the graphic. Boom, there it is. I got it to him this morning. He gets it right back to me in a couple hours. First up, I got to go with Alex Ovechkin. Not only did I bet the Caps the other night, and they took care of business for me, but 3 goals, 3 assists, +5 in 3 games. I feel like he scored 5 games in a row. Is that right?
Yep.
So of course he's the leader on there. A legend like him, I put him up top.
Absolutely. Here, let me get it for you exactly. Yeah, 5-game goal scoring streak. He actually has 6 goals. 6 goals in those 5 games. So, Ovi, I think Biz says he's on the gas. He may be on the gas. Up next for Alexander Barkov for the Florida Panthers. A goal, 6 assists, +7 in 3 games, and just a monster. And he's kind of just carried it since coming in where was it? In Tampere,
yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Tampere, yeah. Tampere, Finland.
Why am I asking Murls how to say a word?
They got brutal. They have 2 pro teams there, Eels and Tampere. two teams, same building, same league.
I see you
believe
tweeting
same
those. I see you tweeting those teams. So they still have those are where their teams are. That Ilves. I
Yep.
see you tweet
Yes.
that out sometimes.
So I think his dad was Russian by the name, and he played there as an import. Must have met a Finnish girl, settled down there, and that's how he grew up Finnish with the last name Barkov. And when I was typing this up, I never Alexander Barkov, not with the X. So his first name Alexander Barkov for the
Sasha.
people keeping checking him. But move on from Barkov. Great week by him. That started in Finland. My guy stole my number, but I'll still put him on our team. The Nate Dog, 1 goal, 6 assists, +2, 3 games, 5 assists in the 1 game. When you have a 5-point night like that, you're on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's just galloping everywhere. On D, I did the game Wednesday night. Noah Hannafin, welcome to the all game notes team of the week. 2-goal game to sink the Edmonton Oilers with a late goal that was just a dagger. Last 30 seconds of that game, I thought it was going to OT. I thought we were getting OT. No, Hannafin. And their D, I did a feature thing, Murls, on their D being the Monstars up at Sportsnet. And like they're all 6'2 plus, they're all 205 pounds plus. And they can skate, produce, and score. And Hannafin with a big night. He has a 2-game goal scoring streak with a big 2-goal game against the Oilers, +4 in those 2 games as well. So Noah Hannafin, come on down. And he's a good looking bastard too. Just it's good. I guess good things happen to good people.
I was loving the tweets the other night because Witt's his buddy, and Witt was going nuts, losing his mind because he was scoring on his Oilers. Yeah. I was loving every minute of it. Vegas is my team. I love them more and more every single time I watch them. Their D are Tador.
What's your odds?
Tador, I don't know how you want to say it. He almost outskated McDavid the other night in one of the shifts I was watching.
He really is like they're only like Hannafin, Pietrangelo, or Hannafin maybe a little more on the Theodore side, but like he's really their only kind of dancer back there that's like elusive and can toe drag and gets in and out. The rest of the guys are just good, smart. They can skate. They're punishing. They get in the way. They're huge.
Huge. Good sticks.
I can see why you love them, buddy. I can see why you love them. And then the way they're built down the middle too. What are your odds at for that still? Are you going to give that one away?
18-1. 18-1. Back to the desert. And
love it, buddy.
Just get to the Western Conference Final, see who they're playing. I can maybe hedge out if I think there's something bad there. If we get to Florida again, if we have to do Vegas, Florida again, I might die for real this time. But move on from them. I always talk about Vegas. Vancouver, you listening this time? I got your guy Quinn Hughes on our team. 3rd fastest D-man to 300 assists. Pasha, this is your guy. You want to come in and give him a double wrister as well?
You don't get to pump up Quinn Hughes' tires, Murls. You're in the doghouse. You can't talk shit last year, then now all of a sudden praise him. You haven't earned the right to do that.
Hey.
Wow.
It wasn't him. It was the style and the size. I love the guy. Great player.
Yeah. So Pasha, you going to pump him up or what?
Instead of putting me down, why don't you pump him up?
I'll definitely pump him up. I was going to save it for my show, but I'll just pull up this little graphic here of him. This is, obviously very good company. Fewest games to record 300 assists. Only Bobby Orr and Brian Leach ahead of him. Just unbelievable. And, I love my under the hood stats. I saw some stats last night that under the hood, he's improved on every metric, even from last year. You think, okay, big year, he might take a step back. No, this guy continues to get better. I don't know if you saw his goal last night. He was literally just doing ballet on the blue line, shimmy shaking. This guy just unbelievable.
And a great dish too, backdoor to DeBrusque, who walked around the goaltender, tucked it in. He draws attention. He pulls guys, his edges, his work. I want to hang out with the Hughes brothers in the summer. I want to go boating and then go golfing and then barbecue and hang out with them. Haven't met Luke yet, but those guys are beauties, man. Great guys.
I gotta ask, how do you feel about your guy Jack Hughes catching a lot of shit from Devils fans? Singsy in particular. Singsy was one in particular for his post-game interview last night. A lot of people saying he kind of motherfucked the reporter there, didn't really give him much, the same type of answers. I feel like your superstar's got to be giving you more than that. And once you've lost Singsy, you've lost the team.
Hold on, was he doing the Leon to Spec interview?
No.
Hughes
It was
did this
just like,
before.
we're
Jack did
excited.
this before. I had him in the Minzees, I think, for it last year.
No. Listen, do I need the warning for this, or can we just keep
Give us
going?
a warning. Give us
Put
a
the
warning.
warning.
Just in case.
Warning.
us-
The following statements are about to be made by a deranged Devils fan. The views expressed are his and his only. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt because, remember, he is a deranged Devils fan.
There.
I don't
now
know
you're
what
safe.
Singsy. Yeah, now I'm safe. Now I can't be sued. I don't know what Singsy said, but this is Jack. Like, since he came into the league, he's kind of been known for this, and it's just like, I think it's part just who he is, but also part like he's just like, he's not being rude. He kind of just like gives up like these sort of generic answers. Like, it comes across as like he doesn't have time for the interviews. Like, I saw the one last night; it was almost comical. Like, he was just giving these generic responses. Like, she could have asked any question, and he was just kind of like, "We're excited for the win, big next game, blah blah blah." I don't see it as him being rude. I think it's different than like the Leon, like kind of being more like, that was a bad question, fuck you. It's more Jack being Jack, kind of just like, no matter what you ask me, I'm gonna be like, boys played well, great win, next question.
The thing I know from Jack in meeting him and seeing him, and I worked a playoff game. I was between the benches, so I was down underneath while they were warming. I'm not around them all the time, but like he's a really competitive kid. Like he's uber competitive. So, you get him in certain interviews or situations and he could be pissy, like big deal. And he gives you a bad answer. I think generally from some of the stuff we've seen with Jack, his answers are awesome. Like he gives thoughtful, good breakdown answers and can recall a play and like go deep into it. And like,
that's the thing.
He's
Yeah,
kind of
good.
sarcastic. He gives a little sarcasm too, which I do think is good for the game. When he's like, when he made that Gato joke a couple of years ago, like he's always good for a good one-liner. But
he's definitely sassy. He's
Little
definitely sassy.
sass.
But to your point, Army, he's very articulate and thoughtful too. Like he did a sit down with Elliot Friedman. I think
that was really good.
Yeah. So when it's in a setting like that, which is, I hope one day we get him on Chiclets. He's very thoughtful and articulate. I think it's just these forced pregame, postgame sort of softball questions that he doesn't have time for, and he kind of just like messes with them and just gives them like these like stock generic answers. I think it's funny. I could see how maybe some fans might be like, "Oh, give us more," but you know what? He gives you more on the ice. That shimmy shake for that first apple, 3 points last night.
Singsy said it's about the kids. Singsy's saying there's a lot of kids at the game. He needs to do more for them. I'll leave it at that.
If the kids are at the game, then they're not watching the broadcast to get his answers. Like, I get they broadcast it over the thing, but like he gives you enough reasons to cheer and get out of your seats on the ice. Cut him some slack in the post.
Let me ask you this. You were at the game, when was it? Over the weekend when the Devils were in Vancouver, right? When was that? I forget.
That was last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday. So we talked about, was there like Hughes, like I know obviously a lot of Quinn Hughes, but was there any Jack Hughes jerseys in the stands?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Plenty of Jack Hughes jerseys. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'd say there was
right?
probably like, a good 75 Devils fans there that were standing up and cheering every time they scored, especially when Jack scored.
Jacob in the chat is giving Pasha like a bunch of emojis, giving him the old wristers.
Pasha, and when you say you're going to have Hughes on Chiclets, you mean on Chiclets game notes, right? You're going to get him for our show here before you get him to the big boys.
Yes,
okay.
I love the Hughes brothers.
We'd get Quinn on here, but you're slandering his good name.
We should
well, that's it. We'll get all three to do a sandbagger, and I'm awful, so then he can just give it back to me on the golf course, and we'll be.
I think Quinn would be great coming on here and bringing that up because he has a look to him like he's rather relaxed, but like he's a chatter. He can get her going. He has his opinions. He's pretty good about it. Light humored too as well. I saw Brent Clark chirping him. He wasn't too happy last night.
Clip. Yeah, they were.
I was trying to read the lips. Were you reading lips on that? He's like, yeah, buddy.
I tried. I couldn't really tell.
I think Quinn said he was going after Quinn, and for my reading of the lips, Quinn's like, yeah, okay, buddy, you had one good game, like relax.
Yeah.
And like that's all Quinn gave him, and Brandt was just giving it to him. I don't know what he was giving it to him about.
I love
that's what
chirps.
I took from Quinn. Like, yeah, okay, buddy. Like, yeah, welcome.
I remember that last year there was a game, Kings at Devils. I was at the game actually, and Arvidsson and Jack were going at it. And as they're both going to the box, Jack goes like this, and he goes, "Everybody here, they pay to see me. They pay to see me." I love that cockiness.
He took some shit for that.
Classic chirp. Glad you know my name. I don't know yours. Turn around. Let me see your name bar. Classic one. But yeah, Vancouver's up and going again. But let's get back to the all game notes team.
I'm going to set you up, Murls. I want you to do the last guy. I want you to do the last guy just because I want you to say his name.
Oh, yeah.
Hellebuck, obviously 3-0, 2 shutouts. The guy's a beast. Like, just give him the trophy now. Just give it to him.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to do. I was going to save that for the Ask Army segment, but why not just do it right now? Vezina, Igor at plus 230 or Hellbuck at plus 320.
Well, Scott, like I think with what Winnipeg's doing with their team, I don't think they get as much pump as like what the Rangers are per se with their team and like the expectations. Like they've come out of the gates, and that's why I think Hellbuck is just so vitally important to their team too. He's like a cheat code for them, having him in there with the way they play on top of it. Then Hellbuck in there, he's going to be there, and he's done it before, and he's probably going to do it again.
Yeah, I'm when I get home next week, I'm going right on DraftKings Sportsbook and taking that.
Absolutely.
Next
Here we go.
up, rookie.
Come on, Murls.
I picked this guy for a couple different reasons. Maxim Tisplikov from the New York Islanders, 1 goal, 2 assists, +1 in 3 games. He's 26 years old, but the rookie rule is if you turn 25 before, I think, September 15th or something like that, then you still clarify as a rookie. So that'll be one of these rookies that's drive wits crazy, like bunting all the time. The other reason I picked him, Max, I told you, the guy named Max does the graphic for us each week. And the last reason was I got to give the New York Islanders some love. They've been scoring goals. I almost put Bo Horvat on the team. He's had a ton of points this week. But the Islanders are scoring more than most teams right now. So shout out to him. Rookie of the week this week. But another guy, Celebrini, made a late case for it last night with 2 goals. Did you see those goals?
So yeah, unbelievable. He cheesed one on a rebound, but the other one, like cutting into that area, was unreal. And that Mike Kelly conversation was wild when you threw that out there, and it just shows. So for people that don't know, like Mike Kelly posted something on social media on X about Celebrini and how good he is at getting to the middle of the ice, coming in on entries and getting to the middle of the ice. And Murls comes back and goes, "Where's Stevens when you need him?" Right? Because he was the killer in the trolley tracks, Death Valley, coming across the middle.
Yeah, nobody did that.
And Kelly posted a graph on social media that was literally getting to the middle was like up everywhere except for when Stevens was like patrolling. They're all like down. There's no graph.
Sick.
Crazy.
Sick. I remember when I played in Korea, my coach was telling me, he's like, you got to cut to the middle, makes more options. I'm like, I will never have that in me. For 20 years, I played not cutting the middle because I played against guys like Scott Stevens. I will not do it. I don't care. I'm way too old. I'm playing in the Asian League. I'm not cutting to the middle and getting concussion now.
Yeah, it's like ingrained into you that's like bad news, you know, from like Rock'em Sock'em videos to just being a hockey guy. Like you do not do that, but now that's how it is. Get to the middle. And that's the fear factor of old time hockey though. Like that's just not there anymore. Like that's just get to the middle. Like if I played now, I would just be murdering people, just absolutely murdering people because they just don't expect it. But yeah, those are great goals by Celebrini. Welcome back. A couple more snips for him. Get used to that, people, even though the Sharks are stinky.
Yeah, we'll see him on this list again, but let's keep moving along here. We got to get to riding the bus. Huge news yesterday. NCAA, CHL ruling came sooner than most people expected, sooner than our experts predicted. There you see it right there. NCAA Division I Council voted to allow Canadian Hockey League players to be eligible for Division I college hockey beginning next season. So they're getting it going right away. My first thing is everybody was going nuts. Well, this guy's going, this guy's going, this guy. Guys, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Still got to pass you still got to go to school. Still got to pass the clearinghouse. A lot of these OHL guys like Biz, they stop going to school in 7th, 8th grade. They're not going to be able to go to college right away. They're going to have to get back in the classroom. They're going to have to take some extra classes to get into these universities. They're not just, you can't just walk in.
Well, they'll make it work. Don't worry for these, grade A prospects or guys. They'll make it work, buddy.
A lot of people are talking about NIL too. And I think something that should be noted is Canadians can't take NIL money due to to their visas. So a lot of people are saying, and I was one of them at first, what's a guy like Landon DuPont? What's a school like, Minnesota going to pay him? Well, they can't. And, I've heard that the government could be changing that in the next, year or two, but for the time being, it's Canadians can't take NILs, i.e. Zach Edey.
Yeah. And there's a lot of issues also inside of this rule too. But all three commissioners of the league and the CHL, everyone just put out their things. This is going to be a great partnership. This, like what the ramifications are going to be, what's going to happen to USHL, how is this all going to shake out is still yet to be seen. Division III hockey teams are also, I think not right now off limits for these players that want to transfer over. You have to go D1 or you can't do it.
That's correct, Army.
NHL
that.
contracts too. If you're under an NHL contract, you're in junior and you want to jump over and jump ship and get a year of college under your belt before you go pro or something like that, can't do it, apparently. And then I guess from this too, Murls, what we may see too is just NCAA like blowing up. Maybe there's more teams on the horizon. I know G's talked about that quite a bit. Maybe some of these Division III teams are, in the league below, some of these schools that are pretty cool down in the South that like might pop up, and some of these other schools that don't yet have hockey that might just get into the game as well. So a lot of the landscape is changing like mad. I got an update from an agent buddy of mine, Scott Oswin, that was like, I'm hearing rumors that like on Friday, this is going to be announced. It got announced yesterday on Thursday. And we all thought it was going to be
Scout Strong. You're for
Strong.
real.
Colby Scout Strong. He's on top of the case. He's got the game notes. He's got people. He's got sources. But yeah, now agents' phones, I'm hearing, are blowing up, vice versa, from college kids and young kids that were going to go to CHL. Now these colleges are calling all these like phones. The intergalactic NCAA CHL portal. I heard there's a guy from Mars that Elon Musk has that's in the portal right now, and he's trying to transfer over intergalactically to NCAA.
You know who I think is going to benefit the most, guys, from this is the ACHA. I think club hockey is going to really, really benefit from this because there's going to be a lot of American kids who aren't able to play Division I college hockey anymore. And when you look at ACHA Division I, it's almost just as good as Division III now. So when you have the opportunity to go play at a UNC or an Alabama and enjoy everything else that school has to offer, I mean, you can't really beat that. So I think club hockey really, this really benefits club hockey a lot.
Boys, I just got a message. There's apparently like a young player from Uranus. It's not even a planet anymore. He's in the portal, the intergalactic portal.
Yeah,
wow.
Good shot, left wing, up and down the wing guy. Yeah, sure. All right, but yeah, big news, big news. Ole Miss would be a good club team that could move up. The Migs is down there right now scouting it out for the college football, Georgia, Ole Miss. So we won't have Vegas Insider, but we do have our players of the week, and we got to start with college since we're talking about that right now. And I know we're heavy Maine guys. I know it, but this guy had the best week of everybody. Harrison Scott, senior at Maine, 2 games, 3 goals, 4 assists. Harrison Scott, player of the week.
Oh, he must be exhausted all weekend playing those games and then doing his homework the rest of the week and just chilling. Yeah, just a brutal grind of a schedule. I don't know how he
Maine, they're not doing a lot of work up at Maine.
Yeah, I don't know how he had the energy from lounging around and casually working out and practicing all week with Benny Barr and then going into the weekend and just like he's probably exhausted, in those 2 games. So that's even more Benny's
crazy. Got them up at I think 5 or 6 a.m. every day working out and whatnot. So
wow. So machines out there. Hey, what else are you gonna do up there in Maine, right? Play hockey, kick ass, and go to school. So
Big Willie style saying I need a disclaimer for Maine hockey.
I got one right here. Uranus player is a Bargoon from Trucker in the chat with the Biz Bargoon line. Yeah, it'd be Bargoon. You've seen this kid play intergalactic portal. CHL, Merls, moving on. The 3 leagues in the CHL. We'll start with the OHL. Marco Mignosa from the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, 4-4, 8 points and 3 on the road games for Marco. Congratulations. WHL, the greatest league in the world. Brady Burney, Swift Current Broncos, 7 points with 4 goals, also in 3 games. And from the Q, Justin Poirier. I think we gave him one last week too, but he's still going. Baco Modrakar, Carolina, I think 5th round pick, 6-2, 6 goals. He had a 4-goal game, Merle. So way to go, Justin. We see you. At a baby.
Did I ever tell you the story about my 4-goal game in college?
No.
I was playing. RPI. We're playing UMass at home. I scored 4 goals in the first period. I thought I was getting 12. I swear. I was like, this isn't going to stop. I got 1 assist the rest of the game. So
You took your foot off the gas, you think?
no, I was going. I was hungry. I was a sniffer.
You had those big size 12 Nikes just rolling.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely rolling. Which reminds me that Scott Oswin guy played against you. He played against you back in the day in the what was that league called? What was that
Toronto
league called?
Metro League.
He sent me your stats because he played against you.
Yeah.
And they are unbelievable. I'll just can I read them off here quick?
Yep.
I got them
See
right
if
here.
they're right.
Hold on, I'm popping them up. I should have gave him to Pa. Should have put up. Where are you here?
50 games first year. Tim Conley was my centerman.
Okay, give me your first year. This is your second year
First year.
stats in this on this.
No, this is that's my first year, I think, where it's 110 points, maybe 50 goals, 60 apples, 120 pims.
52 goals, 58 assists, 111 pims.
Yeah, I got a hat trick the last game, and we had a party at Conley's house the night before it. I think it was against Quinney or Pickering, and I went out and got the hat trick to get 50. I was all fired up.
Only 48 games played. I mean, you're putting up like generational talent style points, bud.
Yeah, 48. I don't know why I didn't play the whole 50 that year. I know the next year I only played 49 games. No, that was the next year, 49 games. The next year when I led the league, 126 points, and we got a bench clearing brawl, and I led the bench over to have the brawl. And it got so chaotic. They just canceled the game, and it was towards the end of the season, and they didn't want us playing each other again because they knew it would just be another bench clear. So they just canceled the game. So I think I had a couple points that game too, so I was pissed off about it, but I ended up leading the league anyway. That's when I peaked. I was a junior hockey legend.
Yeah, but like that's awesome. Like, and we don't see this anymore. Like everyone's kind of the same now, which drives me nuts. But like you were a point producer and leading your team off the bench for a bench clearing brawl. Like that's just unbelievable. They don't make them like that anymore, Mur.
Yeah, clear as day. I'll never forget it. For some reason in the locker room, the Titanic song, this is back in 98, 97, 98. That's when that was the big movie and the big hit. And some reason that was the last song played as we were going out for that game. And for whatever reason, somebody remembered it.
On and on. Just a line brawl with that.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
What's we pulling up here? Oh, the 4-goal game. It looks like
there,
9-2. What's this whole thing here?
Is this Justin Poirier?
Just open the scoring 2-7. No, that's about the 4-goal game.
You sent that in the chat. I wanted to pull it up just to show it was true and you weren't making it up, Merl.
Yep.
Oh wow, it's on the internet, so it must be true.
It's got to be true. Biz will believe it if it's on there. So.
Oh, one more thing to wrap this up too, with the CHL chatter, OHL, Peterborough Pete's Murls, they snapped a massive losing streak the other night. Finally got a W. Have you ever been on a losing streak like this? That
first year of juniors that we just talked about, we lost like 16 in a row. We only won 10 games all year. No, that might be even more impressive than with the stats that we only won 10 games out of the 49 or 50 that we played.
I've never been on a team that's been that bad.
Yeah, we were horrible.
What was that like? What the hell was that like?
We just didn't know anybody. We were all young. We were all 15 and 16 years old playing in a junior league for the first time. So we just got dominated by these Toronto teams that have been doing it for years. But that go back to Peterborough. The coach there is my old coach in Nuremberg, Rob Wilson. He's the coach. Remember the story I told you about when I lost 10 pounds during practice?
Yeah.
Coach didn't believe me, and he had me like getting on and off the scale naked. He thought there was a string tied to me. That was him, Rob Wilson. He's the coach in Peterborough now.
Can you imagine what he's like through that losing streak with those young
fellas?
Oh,
man. We lost like one game. We lost one game. He took beer off the bus from us.
15-game losing streak, Rob Wilson.
Oof.
How you
we
feeling,
lost
bud?
one game. We lost one game, took the beer off the bus. It's me. It's Danny Heatley, Ryan Pratt, Curtis Foster, Kyle Kluberton, like all 40-year-old guys almost. And we can't even have beer on the bus anymore in the German league.
That's crazy.
One loss. Those poor kids.
Reminds me after we won, I think I've told this story before in junior, our Wagon Rebels Memorial Cup team. We were unbeaten in like 25 games is like one of those things. And we lost. We were in Regina on the road. We get on the bus after the game and like Kyle Wanvig like cracks out the poker chips and we're going to start playing some games in the back of the bus. Sutsy comes storming down the aisle to the back of the bus. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And Wands is like, "Why are you playing cards? Because we lost. You're supposed to sit there and be sad." And Wands is like, "Hey, Suts, it's just one game. Like we were so good, you know." And Sutsy's like, "Just one game, just one." It was like, it was like before the playoffs were about to start too. It was like near the end of the year. We were on this epic run. And he went ballistics on just one game. We just like rattled off like a million wins, and we're just in a good thing. We finally lost, and that's how it is. That's how it is, baby.
That was it. Old school hockey. Just a couple other things. There's the under 17 tournament going on. We got the semis, Canada versus Canada. They got 2 teams in it. They're so good. Then USA versus Sweden. Real young kids in there flying around. Over in Europe, all the teams are on break, but there's the Euro tournament where they get together. Swiss, Sweden, Finland, Czech. They play each other. Sometimes it can be entertaining. I watched last night a little bit. It wasn't great. Another big story I got to talk about it because it's Timra. Montreal sent Oliver Kapanen back to us here, so a huge addition for Timra.
I don't mind him. I thought he was pretty good with Montreal too. He'll be huge.
Yeah, he was great. So it's a great story. His dad is the GM here, but his dad also played here, and that's why he was born. When you look up his hockey DB, he's Finnish, but he was born in Sundsvall, Sweden, while his dad was playing for Timra. They brought his dad back as GM a couple of years ago. He's the reason we got Ole Jokin in here now. So huge addition for Timra. If he was here, we would have won Game of the Year. If he was here. So we might get another one now that he's back.
By the way, I think I called you, you can't do a Game of the Year in the first week of the season, Murls. You can't do that for the people. You can't
get another one. We'll get a couple more.
Yeah. So we'll give you some grace room for that, and we'll go back to we'll go back and we'll get another shot at it. Some people in the chat asking, Big Willie style. This guy's got a big mouth in the chat. He's rambling on. He always chirps my nose every week. Big Willie style. Absolute clown show. But thanks for tuning in, buddy. Thanks for being in the chat. Army, could you beat Murls in an on-ice fight?
Right.
I don't know. I was a bad fighter, Mur.
I had no balance. I was horrible. I think you're balanced. You had the balance. You would probably just run me around. No,
I was the king of hanging on for dear life. I was
but I would hang on and fall right away.
Yeah. Save your dancing for the real dance.
Plus, you're a lefty, right? I checked the game
lefty.
notes. You're a lefty. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Check the game notes, bud. My move was, and I was defensive. I hated squaring up. I got jumped a lot, Mur, and I almost liked it better than squaring up was kind of scary. I don't know how those guys do it. I'd rather get right into the mix right away.
I was the same. And that's why when I fought Eager, I had to square up. I didn't know what I was doing. And that's why I got dummied.
Yeah. I
like to just
dummied a lot.
Bunches after the whistle.
Yeah. And then it starts.
Little Walshy being Murls, I'm going to go start a farm bunch over here. Get over here and be ready. And then he would go in there and start fire poking guys. And I would just come in and grab a guy and pull away.
Yeah, but you're already tied up. You're already in the mix. You're not squaring off and dragging them out and doing the big show. I hated that. When you're squaring up with a guy. But I always went in righty. I was scared to go lefty in there. You know how Luke Shen goes in and just grabs and starts going lefties on guys? He got caught a week ago, but he got it back on Janot right after that. If he gets those lefties started, he's got you, because it's scary. They're coming right down the barrel at each other. And so I'm not like a thrower or a gunner in there like Shenner. I was hang on, righty style, tie up. And then if I could inside of there, time it where he's punching and then duck it and then do a jersey grab switch and then try to get a couple rabbits in there. And then hopefully we go down. That was my,
I don't know if you'll remember this, but there was a guy on Binghamton. His name was Murphy. He was an older guy. He had the 5 o'clock beard. Shadow at all times.
Yeah.
And he would torture me. For some reason, he would always torture me that rookie year. And let's go. And I always ask Glenn Patrick, can I fight him? He's like, no, don't fight him. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And finally, it was in Wilkes-Barre where the neutral zone was right in front of our bench. And he's all over me again. And I turn around. I'm like, Glenn, I got to fight him. He goes, fine, go ahead. And I said, all right, we're finally going. This is after 9 games of this guy torturing me. I'm like, we're going. As soon as the puck drops. He's like, yep, as soon as it drops, let's go. And I dropped my gloves and I didn't even look. I just turned to grab him and he was gone. So I
faked you.
So I stumbled down. He had pulled back, dropped his gloves. So then he just grabbed me and just boom, just fed me my lunch, destroyed me.
You got the wrong opponent.
Blood out of both nostrils.
Oh,
yeah. Dummied
absolute
me.
beat down. Yeah, that's happened to me a few times, but obviously check the game notes. the story, the original story.
Yeah.
Welded shut. Gavin Morgan, how's she going? Where are we at now? You got your Euro stuff in there?
Yeah, we're going along here. Let's buzz around quick. Chiclets chirps. Great episode again by the guys. Brendan Hagel, awesome interview. Kevin Lowe, unreal interview. I loved his talk about like leadership, all the different leaders they had on that Edmonton team, and that's the reason they won. And that's leadership is everything. I love that. What did you take away from the episode?
Well, I like Brendan Hagel's story. I liked like his like he was a small guy, like never really seen about it, and then like just the loyalty of Brent Sutter because he played in Red Deer where I played as well. Born in Saskatoon. I think I went to school with his uncle, good buddy of mine, Dale Hagel. They got a massive family, just like mutant brothers, and like, you know, they're just like the Hagel family. So I think he's like the nephew of my buddies who eventually they moved out in Alberta, like he said on the show. But I love this story. And I think that's what's important for people to hear. You see his contract, you see where he's playing, you see how important he is, and you can see how everyone pops at different times. And I think his story was really good on that episode. So shout out to Hagel. Awesome job by Hagel in fighting and staying in the fight with his career and getting there and just working and banging away and being a guy that could eventually make it and be wildly successful. Like, do you think he has a chance to make Team Canada, Murls, on this Four Nations Cup team? I think he does.
I don't know. I've gone through my list already, and it's tough to find a lot of guys on there that should be on there. They could like in this under 17 where they have two teams, they could have two teams in that.
You need some puck hounds, though. You need some guys on pucks, and you need some guys that block shots, and you need some guys that get that done. And he's like not a big guy, but he's really good at that. He really
talked about that with Patrick Kane, wanted him on the power play, and he's like, that's probably why he knew I'd go get him the puck and give it back to him. That's what Sid's always needed too. Sid likes those kind of guys, unheralded, go in, get him the puck, give me the puck, shut your mouth, go stand in front of the net like yourself and put pucks away.
Yeah.
But we could go all night, all day about Biz and Whit mushing teams. That's just, it's too much to do right now. But once again, Biz stole the show on TNT. It's like clockwork. Every Thursday morning, I wake up, scroll through, boom, there he is.
Yeah. Responsible dump skit he gave us. And then he was like, he was going like, doing like he's grunting one out on TNT. I thought it was unbelievable. Talking about going and getting the puck in, but putting the puck in to get it back. Responsible dumps. Of course, in Biz fashion, he turned it into a viral clip for them, which he does more often than not when he's on TNT.
And they were talking about the golden bucket in Finland for the top scorer. Witt was trying to remember Switzerland. Switzerland's the same. He wears a yellow helmet with flames and a jersey with the yellow flames on it. It says top scorer on the back. So when you're back checking, you see a guy, I can only pick one guy. Oh, well, that's easy. I'm going to take the top scorer. So that's kind of a dumb thing there. But I mean, the Chiclets guys, unreal episode again. Great job on TNT. But I mean, we're an hour in here. I know why Singsy's here. I know why Libby's here. I know why Laura's here. We got to do some gambling talk. But I've been hot, but I want to talk about you still alive in the DraftKings Stool Viver end zone crown game. What was your pick last night?
Derrick Henry and the Ravens were in a few positions in the first half of the game where I was like, okay, yes, this is Henry time. He either didn't get the ball, they didn't go to him, or I don't know. But the one play happened. Their QB took it. He obviously he's unbelievable, and he ran it up, but they marked him down at like the half yard line. I was like,
I thought he was in for sure.
I did too. I thought they were going to give it to him at that moment, and I got up. I was like, here we go. They're going to give it to the monster, Derrick Henry. This is perfect for him. Yep, they give it to him. He blasts out to the outside and then buries through a couple guys. And keeps me alive. So I'm alive onto the next week. Obviously, games left to be played this weekend. I don't know. I think there's 12. How many people are left in there? Like 12
it's awesome for you that you got out of the way Thursday because now Sunday you can just root against everybody. Because the last one I was down towards the end like this.
Yeah, you were.
And it was fun. It was fun, like rooting. Like, I hope he doesn't score. So those three guys are out. So I believe Biz is going in the Sunday night game. I won't give it away yet in case it's not official, but follow the social medias. We'll be retweeting that. End Zone Crown, Barstool.
Me and Biz still alive for Spittin' Chiclets crew and game notes. Here we go. I hope Biz
just
can
you guys know, if I won the $50K, I was doing it as a team bet. I was going to have everybody on the stream. We're all going to make a big bet and split it. Just saying.
Is that so? That's how it's used. That you get a one-time like bet,
bonus
right?
bet. A bonus bet. We'll go to like Chicago office, sit in the cave with the guys, do like a 2 or 3 guy parlay, try to pump it up.
That would be
bet, bonus bet.
That is unbelievable. That'll be electric for us, bud. I hope I can pull it off. And pressure's
keep
on.
Going your head. I can't believe you're already done this week. Awesome. But let's talk some pucks. Let's talk tonight. 4 games on the slate. I got a couple circled. I kind of want to take them all. We got Detroit, Toronto. It's a big weekend in Toronto. It's Hall of Fame weekend, I believe. That makes me want to take Toronto. But one of the inductees into the Hall of Fame is Pavel Datsyuk. So I'm just not going to touch that game. Do you have any vibes on that game? I don't know if Matthews is in or out.
I feel pretty good about Toronto in that game. I would. I'd like to know, maybe this is like a weird stat, what their numbers are. And I know it has no correlation with this team, but like, what are they on Hall of Fame game night? What's their record? That would be a cool stat to know. Jazz, if you're in the chat and you're sniffing around, check out the Hall of Fame game night. I don't even know how you find that or how you toggle into the search engines and you get under the hood to find that. But it's worth looking at. I would take Leafs. I would take Leafs 3-way.
I'd have to wait to see if Matthews is on the power play or not before I take that one.
No Matthews.
But, my game I love, I'm sorry, Army. It's the Washington Capitals. They took care of me the other night. They're getting great lines too. Nobody believes in them in Vegas yet. I'm on them. Capitals money line. What did it come out? What did it end up? I didn't see the final line. I think I'm going 3-way because the money line did start creeping up because the Penguins are on a back-to-back and they stink. So Capitals 3-way -105. And then this guy Protas. I hit him for a point. All he had to get was 1 point the other night, +160. I'm on that again. That guy's a weapon. He's going to get at least 1 point again. He scored a goal too, so I was kind of mad. That's like when you know you're a loser gambler. Like I won, but I was mad. I should have took the goal at +400.
That is how you know.
Yeah.
That exactly is how you know.
So
you got one more game left there, bud?
I got 2 more. I got my Wild. Don't forget who told you guys about the Wild in the preseason picks. I think I was the only guy that took them in the playoffs. Wild 3-way -110. You just talked about how the Ducks are on a cold streak. That Dostal goalie, though, the Czech goalie, he's something.
Beast.
No, he's scary.
We got carved last week because he wasn't on our game notes team of the week. So
yeah, you got to win some games to get it on there.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Wins.
Goalie's tough
wins
to get in there. We only got one spot to give, and there's a guy like Hellebuck playing and getting shutouts and whatnot. And then, of course, this is it. This is my team. Vegas money line -142. And this is one I've been taking every game too, taking care of me, is the Vegas over 3.5 goals +105. They're getting at least 4 each night. They're playing Seattle. Seattle has not been good. I love Vegas, and a little thing here happened today. I'm scrolling the DraftKings Sportsbook, looking at odds. And you know how like the little thing pops up in the queue? I accidentally clicked on exact score 5-2 Vegas. And I was like, oh, I like that. It's +2,200, but that just fits my Vegas money line, Vegas over 3.5. So quick recap. Friday night, game notes picks, Capitals 3-way -105, Protas over 0.5 point, Wild 3-way, Vegas money line, and Vegas over 3.5 goals. It's going to be 5-2 in Seattle.
There's your EBR picks for tonight. Action tonight. Little addition to the Pitt-Washington game to keep an eye on when the two generational talents go head-to-head against each other. Just something on the table. Sid 2 goals away from 600 goal milestone. He's been tracking down right now. And obviously we know how hot Ovi is. So these guys are coming in with something on the line. Ovi, 8 goals in his last 9 games played, a 5-game goal scoring streak. He has 6 goals in those 5 games. And obviously the Gretzky record chase when these guys are facing. So a little bit more mustard on the hot dog tonight.
That feels like a Singsy parlay to me. Sid to score and Ovi to score. There's got to be something there. Singsy will probably put it in the chat. That's something he would do. Yeah, we got to enjoy these games. There's not going to be many more Sid versus Ovi, although we keep saying that every year, and they don't look like they're slowing down at all. But NHL, that's enough NHL for tonight. We need Friday night. We need our college expert, G, to come in. Big game in Boston tonight. number 5 Maine versus number 2 BC. You touching that game?
I am. I like the under in that game. Two powerhouses, two great offenses, but 2 great goalies as well. Fowler, obviously, in BC, everyone knows about this kid. But then the Swede at Maine, he's off to a great start this season. So I like the under at the under 6 right now. So I'm taking that. Staying in Hockey East, Providence puck line. I like Providence puck line. I'm all over that. It's plus money, which is nice in college. I feel like you don't get that as much because there's so many, unfavored games. So it's plus 124 over Northeastern. So Providence puck line plus 124 over Northeastern. And then last but not least, I got Michigan State over Ohio State. Is that because I'm headed to East Lansing next weekend? It might be. But regardless, Michigan State, wagon, Isaac, the Iceman, Howard, wagon. So I like them puck line tonight.
I heard you on
G.
morning cup of hockey with our boy Laz and Colby Cohen, and you brought up that you're going there coming up, and Colby Cohen went off about them, went off about their program, went off about them being back and what they are and what they're going to be. So
Michigan State.
Oh, Michigan State. Okay,
Yeah,
let me give you a
they're
little
wagon.
nugget. That's why I wasn't really listening. I'm going to give you a little nugget. You might have to play the Maine disclaimer again right now, Pasha. But that goalie, the goalie from Maine, Boya, he's from Sundsvall. Same place I just talked about, where Kapanen was born, where I'm from, where Zetterberg's from. So maybe my kids, hey, I'm the crazy hockey dad, but my kids are born in the right spot, Army.
Oh, yeah. What's in the water?
I think this Maine BC game tonight, though, is going to be such a good game. Conti Forum has slowly transformed into one of the best places to play college hockey. It's sold out every night. It didn't used to be like that at all. 12 draft picks on BC tonight, only 1 on Maine, and it's Taylor McCarr, who I believe was like a 7th round pick. So it's pretty cool to see what Benny Barr has built there. A lot of transfers, a lot of grad guys coming over on Maine. You'll love to see that, but it's the old grizzled vets in Maine versus the young, talented skill guys at BC. So it's going to be a battle tonight.
And I still got to experience that, G. I got to do a Chiclets U with you as like a side piece. And just come in. I've only been to Frozen 4, which is at these like crazy locations, NHL barns. Murls, do you remember we played in Albany and you took me to a game one day? Was that a college
RPI.
game?
Yeah, it's RPI. You've been.
Oh, so I
Murls.
walked into that. I don't remember the game at all, or I think we just popped in because then we had a big, we had to go to Old Faithful for dinner that night. What's Old Faithful?
Well, I don't know. I think it was a different team I was on. We went to the Ruck. I think it was Max Talbot. He came to college with me one of those nights too when we were in Wilkes-Barre. And
but I've never been to an experience.
Murls, you should bring him to the Big Red Freakout.
Yeah,
we were talking about this the other day. I think that would be perfect. That's RPI's game of the year, right?
Yeah, it's the biggest game, probably one of the most tradition games in college hockey. Big Red Freakout. Noisemakers are not allowed to be handed out at games due to this game. It's gone on forever. It's February 1st, Army. I don't know what your schedule. In the morning, we got alumni game, and then we have the Big Red Freak Out. After it, the kids have the Big Red Drink Out. So big night, big
I would love
weekend.
to do it.
We can do a game notes video, Chiclets University. We can take in. We go to my old college bars. We'll go to my old college house. We can do it all.
There's like a bunch of not even a credit card because he was in college. He has like a bunch of ATM cards with his name on them still behind the bar that he left.
My
there
mom's. I had my mom's ATM card in college.
Yeah, your mom's name on the ATM
My
card.
account was drained the first day when we drove to Turning Stone Casino.
But
anyway, that game's going to be show tonight. Maine, BC. That's a show game tonight. And speaking of show, it's time for show Minzees. Ooh, I like that. You got the beat up bus from Slapshot on there. Make it look mean. So before we get into the show Minzees, I have to talk about last week. I brought up the Blues assistant trainer, Dustin Flynn. Remember, I called him up to the show, 1,000 games. Boom, this week he's right on it. Him and Ray Burrell from St. Louis were there during that Holloway thing, took care of him. He seems to be fine. But I want to tell a funny story, too, about Ray Burrell. He used to do that Bruckheimer tournament, remember?
Yeah, you used to take care of the boys there, right?
I forget which club we were in. He took me out of there, carried me down the escalator, put me in a cab, brought me back to Hard Rock. Boom, brought me back to life. I was out all night. So trainers again, all to the show. Great job this week with taking care of Holloway, getting him back in the game. Army show
For me this week, Johnstown Generals Veterans Day game Saturday for me. And a few of the Penguins alumni will be heading out to Johnstown, the home of Slapshot. And a few of us will be playing, players in attendance, Mark Recchi, myself, Greg Malone, Big Bugsy, Frankie LaRue. Remember Big Frankie LaRue?
Oh,
Kenny
remember when he pounded in Brent Thompson's face?
Oh, that was savage. Couldn't play a shift after that fight. The sounds were horrific and the blood splatter. I mean, the show Dexter had to come in and do some analysis on that. Just disgusting. They both finished the game, especially Thompson. Absolutely.
He came back. As soon as his penalty was up, he was back out. I never seen anything like it.
Yeah, he had like double tampons up his nose to stop the bleeding because his face was just battered. JS Alban will be there. Christian Hansen, honorary member of the alumni. So thanks for popping that flyer up. So anyone in the area, the fundraiser for the Johnstown Generals, it's ahead of the Tomahawks game, the NAHL team that they have out in Johnstown too. So you can come check out that game and then stay for the Tomahawks game as well. And that's all this Saturday on the flyer. And our game's at 4 p.m. So that goes to help disabled veterans from the Johnstown Generals. So look forward to being there, seeing everyone, seeing some of the alumni boys too, kicking around. I'll be on the ice. I'll be manning the point, Murls, just dominating. Yeah. But that's my show this week. A little bit of work with our military folk and disabled military teams out in Johnstown.
Yeah, I fumbled that. I wish I was home. I'm home next week at this time, but the wife set this trip up with the work schedule and how everything had to work with all the schools and everything. So I missed it by a week. I'd have loved to join you down there. Pasha, show. I know you talked about one already. You got another one for us?
Yeah, like I said, I had the Hughes tire pump planned out, but I'm gonna go with Jack Roslovic in Carolina. This guy has been unbelievable. He's got 9 tucks, 1 apple. He's the early front runner for the NHL Cy Young Award. I've loved his game. He had some tough situations, playing in Winnipeg when they weren't so good, in Columbus when they weren't so good. He was on the Scumbag Rangers last year for that run. But now he's finally in a place where he's thriving. He's playing, first line with Aho, Svechnikov, and just putting up great numbers. So always loved his game. Want to give him some love. He's playing unbelievable.
Yep, yeah, 9 goals, 12 games. That's serious stuff. G Money, what do you got for us?
So I got Tom Brady. I know people are probably thinking, oh, gee, ball licking Tom Brady again. Shocker being the Boston guy, but Brady hit the ice, and I actually knew this was happening. Brady hit the ice with Ty Domi, and I'm actually working on something behind the scenes, potentially a little biz Tom Brady content piece. Who knows? But not sure how good that would do him too if he's learning how to skate. But biz, I mean, Tom looks great skating for the first time. Like, I think he looks awesome. It sucks that he had to do it at the Devils practice arena. You don't want that rubbing off on him, but I think, I thought Brady looked awesome.
Yeah, Ty Domi instructing him, great video, and he pumped up hockey, how hard it was. He complimented hockey players on being great athletes. And, Brett Kiesel, another football guy, the beard here in Pittsburgh, great guy, loves hockey. He's like a giant elk on skates. But he can't. But he's skating kind of like Brady. But they're just good athletes that they can stand up and they can get around. So I give Tom Brady a ton of credit for sure, G, just for getting out there and doing that. But I think he'll pick it up fairly quick because these guys are like freaks, Yeah,
I love the end of the clip where he's like, "Oh, I got all the respect for the hockey players out there. They're the best athletes." I'm like, "Yeah, finally, somebody's agreeing with us."
It ain't easy, but it's a great workout. Beer league skating late nights is it's an awesome workout. It's a great sweat, and you have a blast doing it.
Way to go, Tom.
I was out actually on the ice today with my daughter, which leads me into my show. The PWHL jerseys dropped. They dropped their names before, but we got all the jerseys. So I was showing my daughter all of them. I said, which one do you like? Which is the best one? She picked the Toronto Scepters one. Have you seen that one?
Is that the Taylor Swift one that they're saying?
Yeah, and then I'm Googling a little bit, and they're saying they stole it from Taylor Swift. Was that fake or is that real? The Taylor Swift picture?
I don't know. It's like a cheerleading costume with the T Swift logo, and then that logo they're saying is the same logo off of it's the one on
Yeah,
the
there you
left,
see.
the blue jersey on the left.
Yeah, there they all
Those are
yeah.
nice. Those are
Oh,
nice
look
ones
at
on the
G.
left.
G's got one. G1's
G
got
already
one in the
has one?
flesh here.
Boston
Boston.
Fleet sent me a jersey. Shout out to the
Wow.
Boston Fleet. These are nice. I like the color scheme here.
Yeah, so
there it is.
there it is. That's the Toronto logo. We're showing the Toronto logo, and then in this Taylor Swift video, I guess she has the same logo on there. Is she a silent partner, or is that just fake internet? I don't know. Somebody
It's
in the
just
chat
promotion. They
figured
did
that
a
out.
smart
But
thing.
we got to
Very
speed
smart.
it up here. Great jerseys, girls, women to the show. Army, Minzees.
Okay, yeah, here I go again. Getting all like bent out of shape. Like I seen like media, and some of them are ex-players, like fine. And everyone having their opinions on Michkov and like the torts thing, and I get it. And but like it's like Michkov not playing. He got healthy scratch the other night. The Flyers ended up winning in a shootout in Tampa Bay. So they got the job done. And, you know, I see like a team starving for goals and a team that needs this kind of player in their lineup. And how could they scratch him? And it's like, you know what? This is the NHL. Okay. Okay. This is the best league in the world. He's 19 years old. And I know we criticized Leo Carlson a little bit doing the last year, the 2 games in, 2 games out, little like load management situation. But this is a culture thing. Like, you don't want this guy just floating around. If his game's slipping a bit, this is the NHL. You've got to be on top of your game. And if they see it slipping a bit, and you got to take care of it. And if you have to sit out a game, he's 19 years old. Get him back on track. It's probably not like, hey, like, we hate you. This guy is a cornerstone piece of their franchise, and they want to take care of him and make sure in 2 years from now, in 3 years from now, in 5 years from now, that this player is what he can be and is developed to the max of what he could be. You don't think Torts just goes, oh, hey, Matvey, get in here. You're out next game, you little plug. No, this is a discussion handled with Danny Briere. Like, you don't just go sit this marquee player like this and scratch him. This has to be a discussion inside what's best for him. Do the Flyers care about scoring goals, boys? Do they think they're going to win the cup? Are they good? No, they don't care. They care if Matvey Michkov is peak developed Matvey Michkov. And so, like,
and who's head of development with the Flyers?
My brother is.
Oh, okay, okay, good to know.
So does this fall on his shoulders a little bit that he got scratched?
I feel like you're doing a little birthday defending here for your brother. You're like, fuck that. Don't make fun of his decision.
A little gift for Riles, a little birthday gift for Riles on his 40th today. Yes. But at the same time, can we relax? This is the best league in the world. You don't just get to come in here and be 18 or 19 and dance around and do your thing. There's a standard. There's a standard. And if you're not reaching that, or you're not touching where you should be in your development, there's rope, and you can play with it a bit. No question. You have to have that in mind. But sometimes it's okay. It's okay to have a kid, have a reset, take a look, take a peek, work with him a bit, settle him down, show him what's good, what's missing in his game, and get him back out there and let him thrive. And that's going to happen. It's the NHL, people.
Yeah, I remember, and Glenn Patrick did that to me my rookie year in Wilkes-Barre. He scratched me for a game, and he told me to sit up there, and he told me to actually watch a player on the other team. He's like, watch this guy, everything he does. Don't watch the game, just watch that guy. It can help you out in the long run, learning different stuff about the pro game. So it could be something like that too. But you are an insider. Gee, why we have you there, Minzees?
Guys, the wedding industry is the biggest scam on planet Earth. I'm in the process right now of planning the wedding, and the amount of money it costs for one night, and then you go through and they hit you with this charge, and then they're like, well, that doesn't include any of the food. And you're like, wait, I'm paying all this money for food? All right, what's the food cost? $8,000 for a cheese board, $10,000 for some coffee and desserts. What the fuck? What the fuck? How do people afford that?
Wait till you get the dress.
And
the flowers.
You got like 3 daughters, don't you? That's crazy. That is insane.
They're gonna marry rich guys. They're gonna have.
That's
that
all
talk
you can hope for.
up. Yeah.
But it's insane. I even asked, I'm like, Oh, I was like, I'm part of this liquor brand called Pink Whitney. It's something that, means a lot to me. I'd love to be able to put some of those bottles behind the bar. Maybe we put a couple nips on every table. No, you can't do that. Only our booze. We're the only
in our
one.
package.
If you want Pink Whitney, you have to get the gold
Premium
package, which is an extra 10, 15 grand. I'm like, I'll give it to you for free. It makes no sense. It's a scam.
Which is
Wow.
awesome, and why great call too, by the way. If I had any advice too, I would say go get married, do your little thing, invite family and friends, close group, and then just go to your house or like at someone that that has a really nice venue for a house, either in a backyard or in a place that you could save money, and then just throw your own party with catering, and like don't make it like a huge wedding thing, because that's where they ding you. The chairs, you got to get the chairs, the table settings, the table centerpieces. These things are astronomical. It's insane. Singsy in the chat said he spent $100,000 on his daughter's wedding, and it wasn't even a big wedding.
I think didn't he call in the game notes during it too?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, it's
great
crazy
call.
though. I am excited though. You guys are going to be there. The whole Chiclets team's going to be there. It'll be our first Chiclets wedding, so it is going to be a lot of fun. Newport, Rhode Island, I think, is where we're looking. Maybe that's why it's a little extra expensive.
Nice.
But
Looking forward.
very excited.
Yeah, that's Minzees. Those costs are Minzees. Pasha, any Minzees besides your guy Nemec that got sent down there?
You're just poking the
Means that happening. They're just a wagon right now. My Minzees is over here in Sweden. Get a little Euro. Skellefteå, team that won the SHL last year. They're still like up towards the top. Still one of the best teams. Fired their coach this week. Crazy story. I guess the fans weren't happy that they're not leading the league or something. So he's like, his words quoted in Swedish, I don't give a shit about what the fans think, basically. So the fans here went crazy, and you know how it can be here where like the fans almost own the team, and he ended up getting fired. But good news is he's already signed a contract for next year with Frölunda, one of the biggest clubs in Sweden down in Gothenburg. So he's going to be fine, but it's pretty Minzees firing your coach that just won you a championship because a couple fans are upset with him.
Yeah, and that's so Minzees of Sweden too, to like have other coaches hired for other teams mid-season. When I was there, that was crazy. So you're fired, but congrats, you're already coaching another team next year, which happened during the regular season as well.
Yeah, terrible. We're running long here. We're going to get to the Saturday picks. I love a couple games on Saturday. Early start for us, Calgary, Buffalo. I'll be watching. Buffalo, first time in 30 years last night, had all 12 forwards score a point. I thought that was crazy that none of those wagon teams they had after the lockout did that, with Conley and Drury and Briere and Roy. Probably Conley that didn't get a point because he was hung. But I'm taking Buffalo that game. I think they turned the corner. Calgary still doesn't impress me. Buffalo money line -130. I'm on Dallas money line versus the Jets. If you know, I picked against the Jets one time and one time only. That was the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I won on that. I got the Jets on my thumb. I know what's going on there, so I'm on Dallas +100. Florida 3-way -160. This team can't be stopped. They're incredible. We're going back to Florida for the finals. And then the big game, Carolina, Colorado, probably the two best scoring teams that I've seen in these overs. I'm on the over 6.5 there just because I want to watch that game.
Attaboy. Lots of action, lots of hockey, some decent matchups. Murls, you got some great picks there for us too. What's G on one?
I was going to ask him about this Boston Ottawa that they're calling it the Whitney game or something from this clip that came on the last Chiclets.
What a dumb take.
Does he have the clip?
He's got it. Pasha's got it.
This defense will be better. I mean, if you look at this team compared to the Bruins, who do you like more?
I think the Bruins will figure things out.
Oh, I think you're more likely to see Ottawa in the playoffs than the Bruins.
No eh?
After Pasta, what does Ottawa have? 4 forwards who are better than the next Bruins forward?
That's fair. That's a good point. There's a lot of like energy being wasted in Boston. It goes back to the Swayman signing and how that was drawn out. Obviously, Marchand dealing with the injuries to start the year, like coming back from all those surgeries. Now you got the benching of Pasternak by Monty the whole third period the other night. The fact that Monty's waiting for his contract and they haven't figured that out, that's got to be looming and I'm sure weighing on them. So I think that they're going to figure things out. And I think it's a little bit lunacy to say that you would pick Ottawa over Boston making playoffs. You're a moron for that. They should kick you out of Boston for making that comment.
How is that like that crazy? Like it's a high scoring league. Like the Senators have a goalie who's proven in the past he's a very good goalie. They have a couple defensemen that are great, especially at moving the puck, and they have sick forwards. At some point, the Bruins aren't going to make it and Ottawa's going to make it. I think the Bruins do get in. But right now, if you're looking at roster construction, dude, and you're looking at like putting the puck in the net, which the Bruins look like it's not easy right now, I'm looking at Ottawa's forwards and saying that is a super talented forward group. So I don't think like saying the Bruins could end up struggling a little bit this year is that crazy, man.
All right, I didn't realize the clip was that long.
Hey,
but
G, will they show that? Like, will that?
Yeah,
like,
they're going to be playing that at the greatest bar before the games to
Yeah.
pump people up, right when there's a fight. And one thing he said there is he said the goalie has proven in the past he can be successful. But if we're looking at the past, the Ottawa Senators have proven that they can't be successful and make the playoffs. And we talk about the forwards. What does that matter? What does that matter if the team can't win and they can't make it to the playoffs?
yeah, that's true.
so
How can you
as
say
soon as that
though, when
dropped,
they haven't popped?
Ottawa
They haven't
lost.
popped.
Yeah. Ottawa lost, Boston won. That's a big game for us to watch on Saturday. Pasha,
I love
Devils,
that.
Islanders. Is there even a rivalry there still? Devils, Islanders, or are you guys just over them? And what do you think? on
Not
that
really,
game?
to be honest. Like my blood doesn't boil when they play, and if they lose the Islanders the way it does with the Rangers, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, and I like this is a game you look at. You're like, it's not like doesn't get your blood going really either because it's the Islanders kind of, and it's like Jersey should beat them. That's
Yeah, I mean, they'll
all
just-
you're thinking of.
With the two fastest skaters, Barzell and Duclair out, Jersey will just skate laps around them, and I would imagine they'll just take care of business pretty
They
tidily.
are
there.
hanging around a little bit, these Islanders lately, though.
Yeah, I'm going to look at an over there. Look at the over there. And Islanders are sneaky scoring goals, but we'll move on to Sunday. 3 games going against the NFL, only at night. No day games this week. Day games are awesome last week, but ride my same teams. Wild money line, Devils money line. Pasha, give me a goal scorer in that Devils game versus the Sharks. You know there's
This
going to
one,
be a few
this
goals.
one's easy. Timo Meyer back to the Shark Tank. Timo Meyer, anytime goal scorer.
Boom. I love that
Wow.
play. Love that play. And then Monday, we got a special Monday afternoon game that caught my eyes because I'll still be in Europe. So it's a prime time game for me. Buffalo is it Buffalo home versus Montreal?
Yep.
I'm on over 6.5 there.
Yes. Love that. Love that. Do you think Iceman might be on that one? Woo, hoo, hoo, hoo.
I was supposed to go on the ice show last night, but it was his first time since he made the trip to Detroit. And I did not want to be close to that. They've been all over me if I'm the mush. I went on there, but I stayed away. He got another win, but I think he's going to start dipping his toes back in more. I'll be back on every Thursday, but I couldn't be the mush after his epic run. But I think that game's early Monday. It's Veterans Day back there.
Yep, it's Veterans Day. Absolutely, big boy. Love it. That's a good call on that one. That is a
Veterans Day.
12:30 start on Monday.
All right. Shout out all the veterans. Singsy in the chat. Thank you guys for everything you've done and
Jeremiah
do still.
Jeremiah Maxwell as well, the beard in the chat. Thank you for your service to all men and women in our military forces all over the place. We appreciate it. We honor you.
Yes. Quickly, we got to get through these 4 nation teams. It's going late, but let's just look at Sweden real quick. We'll do the other teams next week. Sweden's pretty much like one of the closer teams set. This is my team. This is who I got going. You know, Forsberg, Ziba, Nylander. I don't have that necessarily as a line, but those are the guys that automatically made the team. And these are my 13 forwards. Hedman, Forsling, and Carlson were the 3D. I wonder if they're worried about that Carlson now at the way he's playing in Pittsburgh. And then the goalies. I mean, these goalies are loaded. Markstrom, Gustafsson, Olmark. Some guys on the bubble were Nyquist and Hampus Lindholm, and then Broberg, but he's injured, so I think he falls out. Any takeaways on my team there you like, don't like?
No, I'm looking at it right now. I like it and putting it together, and their main picks that they have. Like you might have to put Forsling with Carlson instead of Hedman to unlock Hedman a little bit so that he can play his style of game, and maybe even Forsling for that matter. Maybe Ekholm with Carlson.
Yeah, Brodeen's even is great too. They got some great D there.
Yeah, they do.
This
And
team's going to be
Sweden-
tough to beat, man. When it's just like these 1-game series, it's going to be tough to beat. That's why I put in Backlund. I didn't know, but I just thought maybe a big veteran like that. We just talked about him 1,000 games. You get in these tight tough games, tight games in those semis and finals. Good to have a guy like that.
The thing with them is their goaltending's good, yes, but the stylistically of the Swedes, right? Like they can shut down. They can all, like, majority of them can all check. They're very reliable defensively, all their forwards. They can skate. They've got guys that can score, and they have like a nice amount of sandpaper also. Gary Lawless, my boy in the chat. I hope that's really him. He says William.
Oh yeah, it's got. He wants Willie up higher. Yeah, Willie's there. You got. I mean, between him and Eriksson Ek, that's two great shutdown centers that you need, because you're going to have to shut down McDavid and McKinnon. Or I mean, they're that's a nice looking team.
Yeah, absolutely. And just stylistically, as I said, the way that they play, they'll be tough to play against. Like they'll be tight checking. They have enough sandpaper to like be annoying, and they are going to be a challenge for all these teams in this tournament, the other three.
Yeah, so that's my team. We'll get into the other teams next week or on another episode. That was Sweden. But our favorite thing, we finally got a new rule. Beer League Heroes is back. This is our bread and butter. I think it's rule number 12. I kind of lost track. I thought we were done with it, but now new stuff keeps coming up. This is the latest clip I found on the internet. Check this out. We got an empty netter. Guy puts it between his legs and scores. And then he does the rub the ice celebration past the bench. Catches an elbow from the other team. I think it's justified with the elbow.
Hey, if you watch the video, people that are listening, go watch that clip and pull it up, try to find it. He does like the biggest Bambi leg hot dog between the leg flip into the empty net too. Like his legs are wonky. And then he right by the bench with the one knee swipe the ice with his hand, cleaning the ice before he gets absolutely Jacob Trubud right in the jaw by a guy coming by with the chicken wing and just drops him.
That was real. So Beer League rule number 12, if you're scoring it on an empty net, do it with some class, and definitely under no circumstances, any goal, go by the other team's bench and do the kid swipe the ice celebration. Not allowed in Beer League.
Agree. It's Beer League. Great call, Murls. Great rule. Everyone, take it to heart. Use it as you will.
And that's it for the show. We got to thank the chat, as always, helping us out with the stats and some picks. I saw Singsy. He did the Russian goal scorers, Malkin and Ovechkin. He couldn't find Crosby. Shout out Peter Millar, best golf gear in the league. G, what do you got to pump us up with before we go?
Breasties merch is still available. We're keeping it on sale for the entire month of November, which is awesome. So barstoolsports.com/chiclets, 100% of net proceeds go to the Breasties Foundation.
Great job. And I saw there's an ad out too with the Xmas ugly sweaters that is obviously starting up right away too, right, G? People
go buy those. They're great.
Yeah, Halloween's done. Thanksgiving's upon us in the Christmas season, so those are always good for parties as well. But check out Breasties. Great work by G. And hopefully cut a huge check as we keep it going right through Hockey Fights Cancer month of November. Reminder about our socials, Merls, on X at Game Notes Bud.
Get those up.
At Game Notes Bud on X, and on Instagram at Game Notes. Click, subscribe, follow those socials. We have stuff coming up all the time, all week long. So stay in over the weekend, especially with all the EBR picks.
Yeah, we'll get some exclusive stuff going on there once we keep it moving, like that trip to RPI. We do that. Maybe it'll be exclusively on those, get those pumped up. Remember, you can always find the audio on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Click the auto downloads, hit the subscribe. If you're watching now, hit that subscribe button so Biz can keep saying how many subscribers it goes up. Him and Whit love talking about that. You guys are helping. Hit that button, hit the bell, whatever it's called. Love it. Game Notes next week. I'll be back in the US next week. I'm going to be there for Thanksgiving. I'll be at that RPI game versus Maine. Maine's playing at RPI 2 games, so we'll really got to get the disclaimer going before that, November 30th. I'm going to try to hit as many NHL games as I can while I'm there. Maybe I can run into you guys at some point, but thank you to everybody. Thanks to Posh and G behind the scenes.
Happy Veterans Day weekend, everybody. Have a great weekend.